Hey, what's up, guys? I hope you all are doing well in your early bets. If you have any, we didn't have any on my card, so I hope you guys are excited about the card today. It kicks off at 2:30 Central Time. I wanted to talk about Oklahoma at UCLA, and I'm gonna open it with a little intro. I was watching the Mississippi State Kansas State game, and the commentator said something that just bothered me. And I mute my TVs a lot when I watch these games because it's just unbearable what the experts on ESPN and Fox Sports 1 and CBS, what they say when they're commentating, and even College Game Day. Now, I do watch and I do listen to them, so it can be frustrating sometimes when I watch the games, but it is important to understand what they're saying because they can give us a good indication of what the general public is going to do. And basically, there's a lot of value in going against that and going against the storylines that ESPN is creating and Fox Sports and all the big name media companies. It's good to go opposite of that because you have to think, right? You have to think Vegas knows what the general perception is, and they kind of have to curve their numbers to where they can balance out where they're taking action. So I want to talk about what I heard real quick, and then I'll get into more of what I'm talking about, and I'll get into how I'm looking at this Oklahoma-UCLA game. So he was talking about how a team was struggling with their run game and how they have to establish the run to set up play action. This is completely false. Go check out what Warren Sharp has to say about it if you don't believe me. But anyone who's grown up playing football at all, that's ever played linebacker at any level where they passed, so I guess middle school and up, if you've ever played linebacker, when you're reading if it's a pass or a run, it doesn't necessarily matter if a team's ran the ball down your throat, averaging 10 yards per run, or if you've stuffed them all game. You can't just say, oh, this team hasn't had success all first quarter running against us, so when the ball's snapped, I'm just going to start backing up as if it's a pass because they haven't had a successful run all first quarter. No, every play, regardless of if they've had success or not, you're going to have to wait a split second, maybe a quarter of a second, maybe a half second to make sure that's not a run. Because if it's a run and you play it like it's a pass, you're in trouble, right? Play action has been proven to work regardless of if the run is established or not. And you can watch this on the full 22, the bird's eye view of NFL games. You can find a game where a team did not establish the run. Just watch the linebackers on play action. They have to, they're held accountable no matter if a team is doing well or poor. Hope that makes sense. Hope you guys understand that. I don't want to keep repeating myself, but it doesn't matter if the run is established or not. Play action is always going to be effective. And that's something that's been proven by the analytics guys. Warren Sharp's the one that really brought it to my attention when I saw him talking about it. But that's something that some teams that watch the analytics and really break down film the right way understand. And then people that are stuck in their old school train of thought, like the Pete Carrolls of the world and like some of these teams that aren't really adjusting to 2019 and the new times, they're not going to understand it. They're not going to agree with me. But if you look at the facts, that's just how it is. Anyways, that commentator was just saying nonsense, and it's frustrating because the average person, the average mind's going to watch, and they're going to be like, yeah, that's right, that's true. And they're going to believe every word that guy says. Now, here's the thing. As sports bettors, when we're trying to win and we're trying to make money long term, it's good for us that the media is out there brainwashing the masses, right? 9 out of 10 people, they think that the guy on ESPN is more of an expert than the guy holding a cell phone in the backyard on YouTube, right? It's actually the opposite, okay? Those guys aren't putting money on the game. They're not looking at it the way we look at it. And it's good for us that they're brainwashing the masses. So when you look at this matchup between Oklahoma and UCLA, what has the media portrayed about both these teams? It's the exact opposite. They built Jalen Hurts up. They built Oklahoma up so much, and they have talked down on UCLA so much. UCLA had a little bit of hype with Chip Kelly coming into the season, and they lost both their first 2 games. Now, they didn't get spanked. They didn't get, beaten by 30, 40 points in these first 2 games. Really, even though they're 0-2, they could be 2-0, right? Those games kind of, they didn't go their way, but it doesn't necessarily mean in a game where UCLA is a huge underdog like this, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to get spanked by Oklahoma. Yes, they've proven that they can't win and they can't finish close games. So if this was an even matchup where we were picking them on the money line, obviously that would matter more to me. But it doesn't make UCLA any better or worse of a team because they lost close games, right? They lost the games. They're 0-2. Most people are going to look at that as, oh, they're unsuccessful. They're not good. They're an 0-2 team. They can't win. We don't need them to win. They have a massive amount of points. And you should be looking at this from the perspective of Oklahoma's overhyped. UCLA has been getting hated on by the media. UCLA has nothing to lose in this game. Chip Kelly has nothing to lose. He can play extremely aggressive. He can do some fake punts, some stuff like that, right? And then also the way that I'm thinking about it and the way that really you should be thinking about it is if this game was played week 1, Oklahoma might be 16.5, 17-point favorites, right? So if you get in UCLA plus 24 points, that's a whole extra touchdown. Really for no reason other than UCLA lost the first couple games, which isn't a massive deal. It doesn't make UCLA worse of a team. Yes, if UCLA came out and dominated those first 2 games, obviously you could have more confidence in their abilities to go out there and play this game. But I really think UCLA is what they were coming into the season. I don't think those first 2 games really changed the team and changed the players and changed the coaching. And now it does a little. You have to put some weight into the performances that we've seen these first couple of weeks. But to get all these extra points, and because the media is building Hurts up so much, and rightfully so, the dude's legit. He has big goals and big dreams with this season right here. But the value and where the sharps are going to bet is going to be UCLA with the points, because they're thinking the opposite of what the media is creating and what the general public is thinking. Now, for me personally, I don't have a play in this game, and I'm not betting on this game because Jalen Hurts' interview against Houston, their first game, he had such a phenomenal game. He had a record-breaking game, and he wasn't satisfied. He was actually disappointed. That to me is scary as hell. Because if he's breaking records and dominating a team that's pretty decent, really good non-Power 5 team, but pretty decent team like Houston on the road, this guy's not satisfied. They could be up 4 touchdowns, and he's not going to stop. And I have to believe it's because he wants to be a first-round draft pick. He wants to prove he can play in the NFL. He obviously wants that. He wants to play against Alabama in the playoff, and he wants to beat them with his new team, Oklahoma. And it's important to him to get that Heisman Trophy, just like the past 2 Oklahoma quarterbacks have. And, going from being a backup at Oklahoma or at Alabama and getting to transfer to a big-time Big 12 school, it's important to him to win that Heisman. And when you have someone like that that's not going to take his foot off the gas pedal, and that interview, man, I posted on my Instagram. You guys can go see it. That interview, to me, I'm not betting against an underdog plus points against Oklahoma. Maybe I will. But right now, I'm a little hesitant. So I'm going to watch this game. It's going to be interesting. I'm going to get back to watching the Kansas State game in there. But thank you guys for watching this video. I hope that some of the things that I said, provided value to you. I hope you can use it in your decision if you're going to bet on this game, what side you're going to take. I appreciate you all so much, showing your support on YouTube, showing your support on Instagram. We're really growing on both platforms really well, and it's getting me excited. Have a great day. Good luck with all your bets, and I'll see you guys in the next video.